We are live. Yes, sir.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir. Islam, Islam, Islam. Praise be to Allah. Highest honors to His Holy Prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Honors to all participating in the comprehensive program of uplifting fallen humanity.
That's right.
Honors to the More Science Temple of America. Honors to my leadership, El Porticel. Honors to his staff. Honors to my membership. Honors to our esteemed guests here. Our brother Sharif Anael-Bey once again. And tonight I think we're gonna have an extensive dialogue. I think we got a 2-topic dialogue tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about Ifa or Islam's connection to Ifa.
And this is gonna be one right here. This is gonna be one right here, man. I requested this one. Like just like I request all of them. Let me I request all of them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. We got the brother once again in the building. And I always love the way he illustrates, the way he demonstrates, and the way he presents the information because it's always, enlightening and healthy.
Praise the
Lord. So, yeah. So our dialogue tonight, and allow the brother to open up for himself.
Yes, sir. First, I want to rise giving praise to Allah. Honors to Prophet Noble Jew Ali, the last prophet in these days. Absolutely the last prophet in these days. I want to give honors to the forerunner, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who said the proclivity of the Negro is to disobey orders coming from himself. Right. See, we give honors to the Moorish Science of America, all past, present leadership of the Moorish Science of America, all members, all those who are true truth seekers, and all those who aid and assist in the great program to uplift fallen humanity. Give honors to Let's Think Podcast, to the creator and the host.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Give honors to man, because when man honors man, he honors his Father, God, Allah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, brother man.
Yes, sir. This topic ties, of course, into our topic a few days ago. It ties very nicely into our topic of 2 days ago. We talked about Wahhabism, right?
Yes, sir.
And Ibn Saud. It ties into it. It really does. Okay. Ibn Saud was a supporter of and a catalyst for the Islamic reformist movement. Well, the Islamic reformist movement ended over 1,000 years of classical Islam in that region. That's the bottom line. That is why, among other reasons, Prophet Drew Ali said the Turks are the chief protectors of the true creed of Islam. That is why in this present day, if you travel to Istanbul, Turkey, guess what you will see? And you go to some Islamic museums, you'll see monuments preserved in honor of women, Islamic saints. You will never see that in Saudi Arabia.
I vouch for that.
See, you won't see that there. There's a whole bunch of other things that are preserved in Istanbul, Turkey, relative to Islam that you will not see in Saudi Arabia. You will not see in the so-called Middle East. But you will see it there. So, based on what modern day in the West, what is considered Islamic is more or less Wahhabist, just like what is being more and more accepted in the West, in the United States, as the right politically speaking. You have the political left and political right.
Yes, sir.
What is becoming more and more accepted as mainstream for the right is really extremist from a group that's called MAGA. Just like during the Bush era, you had the neocons. Neoconservatives, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so what were they? They were an interest group that infiltrated and largely manipulated the Republican Party. So much so that many of their ideas and principles became mainstreamed as Republican. This is what you're seeing today with Republican Party. You're seeing Christian identity being mainstreamed as Republican. That's what you're seeing, right? And without having a take on the right history and certain key missing parts of history, you can't really make heads or tails of that. So what we're seeing today with Islam is the same thing. Same thing. Okay? What people will say, oh, that's magic and that's haram, that's forbidden. Well, the question to ask now is this. When did it become forbidden in Islam when it wasn't forbidden during the time of Prophet Muhammad?
That's a major question.
I wasn't able to produce any slides. I wish I was.
That's
I didn't have the time. Like I literally came straight here right from teaching class. But let's say we can do this. Brother, let's say, no worries, brother. Let's say we can maybe do a part 2, or for your viewers, put together something as a gift for them.
Praise the Lord. Either way would be great.
There is a study, right, called al-Faq in Arabic, or wafaq in Arabic, and that is the Arabic word for magic squares. Okay.
Alpha.
Yeah. AWFAQ. AWFAQ. It's also spelled WAFAQ or WAFQ. Right?
Yes, sir.
Alpha. That is magic squares. Today, people, you see magic squares, oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, that's magic. That's forbidden in Islam. Oh, yeah? Well, on Prophet Muhammad's banner, guess what we find on that banner?
What's that, brother?
Magic squares, bro. See? So the question now becomes, all these things that now modern day Saudi Arabianism, quote unquote, or Wahhabism, Wahhabist influenced Sunniism says is haram or forbidden. The question now becomes, was it forbidden during Prophet Muhammad's time? See?
Yes, sir.
Talismans are considered magic. Charms are considered magic in the general Western perspective. Oh, well, talismans. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a link and see. Let's see if you could show this to the audience.
Okay. Email it to me.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay.
The last one you emailed me to. Well, the last one we exchanged.
Right. Hold on. Ooh. Man, oh man. There's so much to this. It's just insane. There's so much. What was the email address again, dear brother?
I think I sent you the I think it was Legendary. I'll send it to you again right now. Right now, I can send it to you right now. Here we go. Send it this one. There you go.
Okay. Legendary Incorporated QC.
Yes, sir.
That was at Gmail?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, I messed up. Hold on. Let me try it again.
Okay. Oh, well.
In core. Also, the audience, if you have questions, there it is.
We do have super chats.
Right.
And you most definitely can present your questions, super chat.
I just sent it.
And okay, let me see what we got here. Oh, there it is. Most definitely. Here we go. Let me get that right there. Let me pull it up. All right. Let me come back here. All right, we're still here. Let me go to present mode, and we can share the screen. We can share the screen. We'll go here. Share. All right. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. The mere fact that you even have a title such as that makes you ask a whole bunch of questions. Amulets and talismans are considered magic. What in the world is the Islamic world doing promoting such things? Again, it begs the question, when were these things considered forbidden or haram? When? During the time of Prophet Muhammad or after Prophet Muhammad? The answer, of course, is way after Prophet Muhammad. Way after. Under the guise of returning to the pure, pristine teachings of Prophet Muhammad, Wahhabism put a chokehold on classical Islam instead. That's what it did.
You know what, brother? I'm looking at this, right? And this is going to sound probably crazy, right?
Go ahead.
Why does this right here, you see where my cursor's at?
Of course.
Why does that remind me of so many things? But number one, I'm a musician, and I'm in the studio all the time. Why does this for some reason remind me of Fruity Loops and Pro Tools?
You funny. But no. But see, as I've mentioned before, right? There's white paper that exists out there. Numerous, papers in academia in the realm of mathematics, higher mathematics, that demonstrate that Ifa in general, magic squares in particular, right, are the literal foundation of quantum computing today. It's the literal foundation for it.
Whoa.
Right. The implications are crazy. If it's the foundation for quantum computing, then what were they doing? Quantum computing.
Exactly.
See? Quantum computing. That's what they were doing.
Exactly.
That is what they were doing. See? To the point, well, there's a lot. There's so many places we can go with this. But there's a book in particular that I'll refer people to. There's many books, but there's a book that I'll refer to the readers to. The book is called Terrestrial Astrology, Divination by Geomancy. The author's name is Stephen Skinner. All right. In this book, it's talking about Ifa, right, as a geomancy tool, right? And then it's talking about the science, what they call the science of the sand, Ilm al-Ramal. Okay?
Yes, sir.
On page 30 of that book, right?
Yes, sir.
On page 30, you'll find Il Al-Ramo, the science of the sand. Okay. Yo, like, it's Rommel, and they have a chapter 2 of the book, Rommel and Islamic Origins.
Whoa.
Here we go. I'm going to read just a little bit from that chapter. Divination in the world of Islam took many forms. That's the first sentence. Wait a minute. Isn't divination haram? Isn't divination considered forbidden? Again, the question becomes, when was it considered forbidden and by whom? Now, for those of you that are students and followers of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I will refer you to your questionnaire. First, the Islamic reformist movement, right, began shortly after the union of the Wahhabi family and the Saudi family in the late 1700s. It didn't gain major influence until the Saudi Wahhabi, union met victory in the Hijaz with the assistance of British intelligence in 1926. And then it really didn't get a major boost until the discovery of petroleum in 1938. And the United States, via Standard Oil Company, made the agreement with Saudi Arabia and effectively took Saudi Arabia from the British. That's the truth. In other words, now there's billions of petrodollars behind the effort to stifle what we would call the old-time religion. See?
Basically, those elements that were extracted.
Those elements that were called forbidden. That's right. That is right. What is the Circle 7 pendant? What do we call it in our movement? A charm.
Charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The symbol on it, we would call the, but
right.
Yeah, the logos, but yeah.
It's
a charm.
See that?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that. You said the logos. Glad you said it.
Right.
The logos, right? Well, the word logos is a Greek word. Not taking anything from it because it's a Greek word.
Right.
Right? But it's a Greek word. Where do we get it from? Okay, this is important. Look up the word. This is for the viewers. Look up the word Neoplatonism. 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 Well, Neoplatonism, we're talking about what? Plato. We know Plato comes from the ancient Greeks. But we also know Plato learned where? Where did he learn? Ancient Egypt. Okay. Well, we know that ancient Greek culture and science was lost in the West for many, 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 many years. As a matter of fact, it wasn't so much as lost. See, lost means you once had it. Lost means you once had it. Today, whenever we hear the word Greek, we think that's a proxy for Pale European. The ancient Greeks were not Pale Europeans. They weren't.
Okay.
All right. They were not. Look up Martin Banal's book, Black Athena. Old book. Okay. Now, that said, how did the Euro West get a hold of ancient Greek culture to the point where they celebrated so much they appropriated?
Right.
Look up a man by the name of Avicenna. Avicenna. Look up Avicenna. Also, look up a man named Averroes. That's Averroes. Look up these individuals, Averroes and Avicenna. Those two individuals, those names are Europeanized names. Avicenna's real name is Ibn Sina, Ibn Sina. Ibn Sina.
Oh, see?
Averroes' real name is Ibn Rushd. So that's Ibn Rushd.
Right.
Ibn Rushd and Ibn Sina. The European West celebrates these two men. Why do they celebrate these two men? They celebrate these two men because these two men restored or brought to the Euro West ancient Greek culture and science. Our forefathers preserved it. The science that we call the philosophy we call Neoplatonism is a result of these two men. Okay? It's a result of these two men. All right, well, Brother Sharif, why are you bringing up Neoplatonism? Because the principle of the logos comes from it.
Demonstrate more.
Yeah, our prophet, when he brought us the old-time religion, he brought us old-time religion. That's ancient Egyptian science by way of Plato, preserved by our forefathers centuries later. See, many of us are not digging deep. See, we're not digging deep. See that?
Yes,
That's
sir.
Neoplatonism. The principle of archons. Archon is another way to say what? Architect.
Yes.
Another Greek word for archon is tecton.
Yes, sir.
Tecton is builder.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In our teachings, who are the archons of the tectons? The seven Elohim. The masters of matter.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yes, sir.
Our prophet brought us some stuff, people. We don't dig deep enough.
Yes, sir.
We don't dig deep enough. So all of those things were nowadays in so-called mainstream are considered haram. But they're part of our religious creed.
Boldly brought out.
Thank you. So when the prophet said he came to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, come on, man. Was he lying?
No, sir.
Do we lean towards so-called mainstream academia that says, oh, he knew a little bit something about Islam, but he took a whole bunch of non-Islamic things and mixed it with Freemasonry and poof-pow Moorish science?
See
that?
See.
Now, on that point, those things that were practiced during the time of Prophet Muhammad and immediately after, before the reformist movement, where do we find most of those things today? In secret orders.
Factual.
Astrology is considered haram. But yet, during the medieval era, in other words, when our forefathers, during the time our forefathers led Islam, Astrology was a science that was advanced and perfected under Islam.
Right.
See? Geomancy, perfected and advanced under Islam.
Geomancy.
Ifa is geomancy, among other things. See that?
Yes, sir.
And it's a product of, and it's congruent with, in terms of thinking, with Islamic thinking. Let's show you. Let's show you. Islam, the word Islam comes from the root word. It's a 3-letter word, sin, lam, mim. That root means completeness, wholeness, oneness. So a Muslim is one who seeks unity. A Muslim is one who seeks oneness. And mathematically speaking, what is oneness? Oneness is the resolution of opposites. Resolution of opposites. So we're talking about a mind that is trained to think this way. Hence, time. How do we measure time?
Cycle ages.
All is one. See that?
Yes, sir.
If we think linear, straight line, that means there's a beginning and an end, which means it's all an illusion, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Factual.
See? Now let's talk about the implications of geomancy. I'm sorry, of time in a circle. If time's a circle, where's the beginning?
You can't find the point of the beginning.
Time never was when man was not. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take it a step further. Let's think real simple. If time is a circle, that means events happening in time happen on a what?
Circle, on a pattern, a cycle.
Correct. And if I know the pattern, I can accurately predict the outcomes, can't I?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that what geomancy is?
Yes.
But our brothers in the reformist movement and reformist minded say that that's haram. That's like gambling. You're trying to predict what happens in the future. You see it now? We're talking about a way of thinking, not just information.
So now we will bring the question: what is prophecy?
Shout out to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who spoke about this. He said there's some people that are just gifted with the ability to see into the future. He said, but everybody can improve their ability through an intense study of history. Why an intense study of history? Because how do we measure time, people? So an intense study of history means a study of history where you could start to see the pattern. You could start to see how things repeat. And when you can see the pattern, now you can predict the outcomes.
Either or.
Either or.
If you go this way, this is what's going to happen. If you go this way, this is what's going to happen.
Right, because you can recognize what pattern the event you're speaking about is on. Ha! See?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
That's how we can tell. If your eyes are open and you can see with the eyes of soul, we can tell who Claude Green is today. We can tell who Lomax Bey is today. We can tell who Ira Johnson Bey is today. All you got to do is imitate the prophet. When you imitate him, you are now in the pattern of the prophet. And when you're in that pattern, you can now, through you, cause a repeat of the events that took place with the prophet on the manifest. Which means the opposing spirits pop up too. the opposing spirits, in other words, the opposing patterns, they pop up as well. Right. That's how you could see who's who. Right. Right. See? And if it can be, follow me, if it's a pattern, it can be observed, it can be measured. Thus, Ifa, or the science of the sand, becomes a tool in our Islamic practice because it falls in line with Islamic thinking.
Let me straighten them out.
See? So, if everything's on a circle, that's a pattern. If I can recognize the pattern, I could follow the bouncing ball and follow the line of logic and accurately predict what comes next. It's real simple, people. Let's count by, let's use the principle of multiplication. Let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15. What comes next?
20.
What comes next?
25.
What comes next?
30.
You are predicting the future because you know the pattern. It really is that simple. It's like one of my aunts used to say it like this. Or not my aunt, one of the aunts of one of my members, one of the family members of one of my members. They said, you know, don't tell me what happened. Tell me who was there. Don't tell me what happened. Just tell me who was there.
Whoa.
See what I'm saying? Uh-huh. You know who was there. You already know what happened. You know the pattern. You know the events. Brother R. Jones Bey said it like this, man. And I remember when he first said it, I almost fell out my chair. It was during a meeting, too. He said it like this. He was like, some of us don't even like each other. We got to learn to like each other because the prophet said we got to learn to love instead of hate. But let's start with like. Some of us don't even like each other. We got to learn to like each other, then learn to love each other. Then he said this, love is the only savior of the world. Jesus' love made manifest. And when you begin to live the life of love, you begin to experience the life of Jesus. Woo! He didn't say experience the history of a man 2,000 years ago. He said experience the life of Jesus. See? That's deep. That's deep. That makes you think of some things. For instance, what if the Jesus of 2,000 years ago was on the manifest today? See, the Jesus of 2,000 years ago, the historical Jesus, did not have to teach his people who they were. Right. He didn't have to do that.
He didn't.
Yeah, but what if he was on the manifest now? What's the first thing he would have to do? Right. Can't nobody tell me Prophet Jawali wasn't a prophet.
Actual fact.
Right. Can't nobody tell me that.
Yes, sir. And that within itself, when we hear the terminology of our brothers in the Nation of Islam saying to resurrect the dead, and the Prophet Noble Jawali said uplifting folly humanity, it was the same principle.
But it's the same thing. Our brothers
especially especially if you're in tune, as most Americans, you're in tune with your one-on-one.
Come on, brother. Exactly.
And the Quran questionnaire and understand, Negro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, according to science.
According to science means death. Right. Right. the Lost Found Nation of Islam in the Wilderness of North America. The name of that organization proper is the Laborers for the Lost Found Nation of Islam in North America. That's the name. The Laborers for. Who's the Nation of Islam? The fallen Asiatic sons and daughters of North America. That's why the Prophet said, we therefore are returning to Islam.
Yes, sir. Factual.
That's dawah right there. See?
Factual.
Yeah. We're returning to Islam. We're going back. Right?
Not converting to.
No. We are not Muslim converts or Muslim converts.
Yes,
we are returning to our own. See? Different words, same spirit.
yes.
Accept your own and be yourself. Prophet Drew Ali, be yourself and no one else.
How plain can it get?
It can't get any plainer. You see, it can't get any plainer. And what do we mean by a return to Islam? I use the Prophet's words, a return to the state of mind of our forefathers.
Yes, sir.
We don't mean in the secular sense that the European psychology has taught us the way it's taught us to look at religion. We don't mean that. Shout out to my brother Wesley Muhammad. I like how he says it, how we do religion. He said, you all do religion to emulate something outside of you, to emulate a God outside of you. He said, we do religion to be God. See?
Here we go. I'm looking at the comments, brother, and
Yeah.
I don't even know. No, I won't address that. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see. Maybe I will. No. If
We welcome comments.
what I'll do, since this is something that's so much brought up, I'll bring this one up.
Okay, praise the Lord.
And then we'll go straight back into.
No doubt.
Can you see that?
Oh my goodness. First of all, Muhammad did not marry a 9-year-old girl named Aisha. Let's start with that's a myth. And we don't have to go into any further detail on that. Drew Ali plagiarized his Quran from Levi Dowling's Aquarius Gospel of Jesus the Christ. That's a myth too. But for the sake of argument, I'm glad it was brought up. Thank you, the individual that brought that up. I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to butcher his name. Right?
Yeah, I don't either.
Right. So let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say Prophet Drew Ali did do that. Let's say he did, right? Okay. Page 3 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America. Page 3. He says, the reason that these secrets have not been known is because they were held back, or I'm sorry, because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And the first time in ages, these secrets have been delivered into the hands of the Muslims of America, right? That was more truthful than Levi Dowling's testimony in court. See, because when Levi Dowling was asked in court where he got the book from, he said, I am not the author. I got it from the Akashic records. That was his court testimony. But again, for argument's sake, let's just say that the Prophet did plagiarize it. What's in that Quran? And who does it belong to?
Right.
So you could say if he plagiarized it all day long, it don't budge me 1 inch. It's mine anyway. How about that? See? How about that? It was returned back. I'm thankful. Even if he did plagiarize it, I'm thankful he gave me back mine.
Which he didn't, because he said he divinely prepared.
Now what? See? But
He
guess
never
what?
said he authored it. He
Hold
said
on.
he divinely prepared.
But hold on. Isn't that exactly what the Meccan opposition in Mecca to Prophet Muhammad said about him? You plagiarize these stories from the Jews and the Christians. That's what they said.
Exactly.
That means I'm in good company. That don't move us one bit. It doesn't. See? It doesn't. It was ours to begin with. He returned it, even if he did plagiarize it. But the fact of the matter is he didn't. He did exactly what Prophet Muhammad did, prepared something from something previously existing. How about that? You know why? Because Allah changes not. That's why. Prophets don't bring anything new. Know what prophets do? Course correction. They put you back on al-mustaqim, the straight path. That's what they do.
Yes, sir.
See? That's what they do. Prophet Muhammad said, he's reported to have said that the third generation won't be of me. Woo. So if we take that to be true, why would we listen to anybody other than who came to us with Islam? Why should we trust you?
That's heavy.
Why should we trust you? See?
That's heavy.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Thank you for that question, though, or that statement, and thank you for putting it on the screen so it gives us a chance to speak to it.
Yes, sir.
Don't bother us one bit. See? Not
yes.
one. That was a good statement. I'm glad you put it up.
Oh, I appreciate, brother, man. I appreciate your elaboration and your demonstration upon the topic.
Yeah, but the fact, again, it's not hard to find. When,
Yes,
when Levi Dowling was brought to court about the book, he was brought to court. But guess who wasn't brought to court ever?
Ooh.
Prophet Drew Ali. Never. How about that?
How about that?
Levi Dowling himself was brought to court.
Oh, man. He was.
Yeah. And he said he was not the author. He said he got it from the Akashic records. That's what he said. See? That's exactly what he said. See?
I'm back.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what happened.
Hey.
That was wow.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah. Man, like right then?
Okay, I want to read some more from Skinner's book regarding Ifa.
Let's go, brother.
Or Ramal, right? Ramal literally means sand, so it's called Ilm al-Ramal, which means the science of the sand, where they would do computations using dots and lines in the sand. And this science took root and took hold in Islamic West Africa.
Islamic West Africa.
That's a fact. So this is what he says. This is what Skinner says. In the Islamic era, the term Ramal or Ilm al-Ramal, the science of sand. In the Islamic era, the term Ramal was dominant, but with the growing influence of astrology on the occult sciences, the term ashkal or figure came into prominence. Khat in Arabic originally meant a straight furrow or a line drawn in the sand by a stick or with the finger. In time, the word came to mean a line drawn on parchment or paper, or a line of writing, and finally, the art of calligraphy. For our purpose, the earlier meaning is the most interesting because it especially applied to the lines which a diviner, someone who is doing fortune telling, drew in the sand to prognosticate the happy or unlucky outcome of an undertaking or event about which he was consulted. In other words, the idea of prognostication or fortune telling or seeing the future fits neatly within Islamic thought. Let me say it again. It fits neatly within the framework of Islamic thought because in old world Islamic thought, time is a circle. Get it, people? What did the reformist movement do? Took Islamic thought out of Islam. It took Islamic thought out of Islam. Brother, you're a traveling man.
Yes, sir.
Today in the lodge, in general, the deeper esoteric sciences are missing. What do you have? An empty car Krishna in most lodges. Am I correct?
Right. It's called a shell.
That's right, brother. The reformist movement did that to Islam with the help of the British government.
Thanks.
That is the truth. That is the truth. That's what happened.
Thanks.
That is what happened.
So,
yes, sir.
when we go, now this is a question I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Many people, well, even scholars, I've heard some, scholars say that Africa was conquered by Islam. Well, let's talk to that.
Here's the truth. Here's the truth. The very same people that say, oh, Africa, those Arabs enslaved Africans and they used Islam to do it, are the same ones that colonized Africa. Let's just start with that.
Say it again. Oh, hold on.
The very people that put out the narrative that Arabs and Islam conquered Africa are the very people that colonized Africa, namely in the via the Berlin Conference in 1883. Same people. They're the ones that created that narrative. And sadly and unfortunately, Afrocentrics picked it up. Shout out to my brother, Professor Rudolph T. Ware III. Get his book, The Walking Quran. It's called The Walking Quran by Rudolph T. Ware III. Professor Rudolph T. Ware. He gives a much, much more accurate portrayal of Islam's spread in the West. The majority of the spread came by way of the ruling class. Islam's spread was accepted by the ruling classes in Northwest and West Africa, accepted. And it was spread mainly by way of two avenues: education and commerce. That's how it was spread.
And we can see we can see through evidence through study of the Western world today,
yes,
that
sir.
Education was most definitely a
yes. Yes. There's a record in time where scholars, Islamic scholars from Mecca traveled, I believe it was to Timbuktu in West Africa, basically on a QC mission, quality control mission. They went there to check them. Like, okay, let's see if you're up to standard. Brother, Our brothers in West Africa were so astute, those QC officials had to stay there and study for a number of years just to meet their level. See? They went there thinking that they were going to check our brothers in West Africa and got checked. Because our brothers in West Africa kept the old ways. They kept the old ways. See? They weren't subjected to the reformist movement or the reformist efforts. See that? They kept the old ways. Listen, people, how do you think the Yoruba traditions ended up in the Caribbean in the first place? There's a reason why they're counted today as slave revolts, because of the insistence of the label black on our people and the association of the word black with slave. So they call them slave revolts, right? Why is it that in the 1500s up through the 1600s, the vast majority of the so-called slave revolts were led by African Muslims? And they were practitioners of Yoruba traditions like Ifa and related things like Vodun, Candomblé. See? These were tools used by Muslims, old world Muslims, practicing old time religion. There's a connection, see, with Africans in the Caribbean in the 15 and 1600s. Islam, those traditions like Ifa-based traditions, and rebellion against European oppression. Things were connected, people. If you go to Brazil today, you don't even have to go to Brazil. You can Google it. You got Brazilian Muslims that practice candomblé. Whoa, wait a minute. How they Muslims practicing candomblé? I thought that was haram. See? See who we've been listening to? See that?
No, that's heavy, bro.
This is it's really interesting stuff.
What it does is it most definitely challenges the mainstream narrative.
Yes.
Which so many people have deemed to be the catalyst.
Right. It's not what we're thinking about. It's how we've been trained to think about whatever it is we think about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the issue. Let me repeat that. It's not what we think about. It's how we've been trained to think. That's it. We've been trained to think wrong. See? See?
Simply wrong thinking.
When Jesus was talking to the poor toilers, and they were talking about, oh, how many lives they've got to live before they reach heaven. What did he tell them? Brother man, your thoughts are wrong. Your thoughts are wrong. That's what he told them. See? He said, your thoughts are wrong. You're thinking wrong. So, page 3, Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America. The Prophet says the reason these secrets have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time was appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, these secrets have been delivered to the hands of the Muslims of North America. What do we mean by secrets? In our questionnaire, the question is asked, who was Jesus? Answer, he was a prophet of Allah. Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah in the house of David. Do you know that that's a secret? Those are secret, even though, but it's right in your face, but it's a secret. But remember, secrets, our literature is not a cookbook of secrets. Is that our literature is Moorish American psychology in written form. It's shaping the direction of where to think and how to think. So when we hear the answer in Bethlehem, that's a physical location, of Judah, that's a tribe. Then it says in the house of David. That's deep. Why? Because all the prophets of old predicted that the Messiah would come through the house of David. Didn't he? Didn't they?
Yeah.
All right. In the Bible, in the book of Luke and in the book of Matthew, it gives the genealogy of Jesus. If the way the Christians teach it today was true, then that genealogy from David would go to Mary. Guess what? It doesn't. Who does it go through? Joseph. So if Jesus was the physical son of a spirit God and had no physical father, he would not be the Messiah because he wouldn't be of the bloodline of David. Hence the next question, big secret. Who were his father and mother? Answer?
Joseph and Mary.
That's a secret, people. What do you mean that's a secret? That's so simple. It's a secret because what does it do to your thinking? It shifts the paradigm. It changes the narrative. It changes your thinking. He had
even though, and I'm not gonna pardon me.
No, go ahead.
One thing for sure and two things for certain. If you go to the Bible most definitely tells you the genealogy of Jesus. And Joseph is in it.
Let's take it a step further. Read Apostle Paul's words to the Romans. Romans, first chapter, the first 3 verses. The Apostle Paul called to the defense of the gospel concerning our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who was born the seed of David according to the flesh, yet declared to be the Son of God according to the Spirit after the resurrection. It doesn't get any plainer. Doesn't get any plainer, does it?
Because we know what the resurrection, because especially when we know what the resurrection is.
Right.
When the will of man and the
will of Allah won, the resurrection is a fact. You see,
but that's a pinnacle of development.
Of course it is. Of course it is. We're students of Prophet Drew Ali, and for those that are students of Prophet Drew Ali viewing it, in chapter 7, Jesus gives 2 when he's asked the question about what is man. He's first asked what is truth by Lamas, then he's asked what is man. Man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Man is the breath made flesh, right? And truth and falsehood are conjoined in him, and they strive, and naught goes down, and man as truth abides. In ancient Egyptian science, that's called Osiris risen. He ain't the same as the one that got chopped up. Those are 2 different states of man. Fallen man, truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Emmanuel, man as truth, 2 different states.
God is with us.
2 different states.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yeah.
2 different states. See that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Man as truth, as you said, describes a major step up in development.
Yes, sir.
In the journey of the race.
Exactly.
See? A major step in the what? In the travel to the great meeting. We are all on our way to the great meeting. See? Yep.
And taking a step in the participation of the great work. So,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact. That's a fact. A step
and,
in
and must I say willing participation.
Willing. But now think about it. Remember, you're a boxer. You know how this works. Success is always on the opposite side of struggle.
Yes, sir.
And if you want great success, what do you have to get? You have to undergo great hardship. What did the Hierophant tell Jesus? Those that would reach the highest heights must reach the greatest depths, and you shall reach the greatest depth. Right?
Yes,
what is so
to me in training, that's called going training so hard, you throwing up.
You push yourself to failure. You push yourself to failure. Right.
I think anybody who's been through that, man, know what I'm talking about, bro. Hey, man.
Yes, sir. You push yourself to failure. First of all, it takes guts just to do that.
Yeah. Don't nobody like
put yourself to that point. Right?
And then be willing to do it.
And guess what you always find out? There's still one more in you.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
You have to get to that point. It's just like exercise. Let's say I'm doing push-ups, right? I'm going to do 100 push-ups. The 100 push-ups don't make me stronger. It's the last 5. The first 95 get me to that point.
Yeah. It's the ones where you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that build you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's that last 5, that last 3. Those are the ones that do the job.
And it's those last 3 minutes where when my hands start to feel like I got cement in my hands and the jab ain't flicking like it ain't jabbing the way
it feels like a limp noodle.
Yeah. And every pivot feel like you just want to sit down on the floor.
Yes.
Man, listen, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh, here's a better one. Here's a better one, bro. Because you being a fighter, you know what this is. Where you so fatigued, you want the guy to knock you out.
Yeah, in this. Because that's the only way it's gonna stop.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People,
yeah, and then
you get to that point where part of you says, "Man, listen, it could be all over, and I can rest. I'd rather rest than keep you right." But then the other part says, "Nah, let's go."
Let's go. And then in those situations, you taking punishment in those situations. You know what I mean? And you like, nah, I just, it's something in me that won't allow me to lay down. So
come on, brother.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, well, listen, let's get back on topic, right? So with here's a couple names I want to give. Right? A couple names I want to give that people can research. Look up Azanati. That's AZ-ZANATI. Azanati. Right? He was a successor, right? He was a successor to a man named Khalaf al-Barbari. Hanaf the Berber. Hanaf the Berber. Okay? Hanaf the Berber. Why is that important? Hanaf the Berber, or Khalaf, I'm sorry, not Hanaf, Khalaf al-Barbari.
Oh.
All right? HALAF.
Pardon me. Shout out that NYP Talk Show for the super chat. Salute.
Yes, sir. Salute. Islam to the brother Ron Brown.
Yes, sir. Mikey Fever.
The people's fitness therapist. That's him.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to him.
And
Mikey Fever.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna have him on.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? On Let's Think Podcast. And
listen. On another note, you need to get Mikey Fever on to talk about Haitian lodges, Haitian Freemasonry.
I would love to. That would be a great topic.
What?
If he's willing, hey,
What?
we all for it. Let's
What?
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Deep brother. But anyway, there was a mythical figure named Tum Tum. Now, Tum Tum, right? We say mythical, right?
Mm-hmm.
In another way, that's to say, okay, well, you know what? There's a secret origin that we don't want to talk about. So they'll say, okay, the mythical Tum Tum, right? So allegedly, Tum Tum was a recipient of the science of geomancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Idris.
Hermes.
Enoch.
Mm.
Who in Islamic tradition got it from the angel Jabrail.
Now, what did that say about who Jabrail is?
Come on, we already know. All right. See? So from Jabrail to Idris or Enoch or Metatron or whatever, okay? Melchizedek, whatever, right?
Yeah.
To Tum Tum, okay? Halaf al-Babari translated Tum Tum's work into Arabic. That's why that's important. But we don't know what language it was originally in. We've lost that to time. See? Okay. So, the successor to al-Babari was a brother by the name of Abdullah Muhammad Az-Zanati. Okay? So Az-Zanati was his successor. He lived in the 12th or 13th century and founded a school of geomancy. Now, you got to remember, these were Muslims. These were Muslims. They founded a school of geomancy, brother.
Which in today's
would be considered haram. See?
Astaghfirullah.
Astaghfirullah. That's what it would say. Right? He wrote a number of books. These books have been translated. As a matter of fact, now there's another individual. Zanati was also responsible for some of the earliest transmissions of geomancy into Greek because his classic work was translated from Persian into Greek verse by the monk. This is a Christian monk, Arsenius, in 1266. This is important to note. Geomancy, astrology, magic squares, a lot of this stuff that was considered later haram in Islam was also considered earlier witchcraft by Christendom. But at the same time, these grimoires or books were copied by Christian monks. Much of what we see today in the Western magical tradition in terms of grimoires, a grimoire is like a student's notebook in school on a topic. Okay? The majority of the grimoires in the Western magical tradition that are available today were copied or plagiarized from Islamic sources by Christian monks. It's the truth. So on one end, it's, you're going to get drawn and quartered by the Inquisition for even being suspected of knowing this stuff. But on the other end, we're going to snatch it up and hoard it to ourselves. See?
And use it to our advantage.
You get it? So the things that are considered today haram in Islam were a big part of the functional Islam during the medieval era.
Is this something?
What did the Meccan rulers and those that opposed Prophet Muhammad call him during that time? A magician and a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
What are the ops of the prophet Did they call him? Oh, he was a circus performer. We are in good company.
And they called him a magician.
Sure did. We're in good company, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they called Prophet Muhammad that. I'm good with that. Even though it's not true.
They called Jesus that.
Even call Jesus that. Even though it's not true, I'm good with that. See, because you all would call it magic. In Cordova and Seville, the universities we built. In Spain, we called it higher learning.
Supreme wisdom.
Thank you, brother.
Khalil just spoke about that.
We call it infinite wisdom.
Yes, sir.
It was infinite wisdom that let me back up. It was the application of infinite wisdom that built pyramids.
Yes, sir.
See that?
Yes, sir.
In a previous show I showed a picture of what? A geomancy machine built in the 13th century. Right?
Yes, sir.
Well,
yes, sir.
How in the world are you going to build a geomancy machine if you're not versed in the idea that we can predict future outcomes by observing patterns?
Exactly.
You have to already have the mindset. You already have to have the philosophy. See
exactly.
that?
Exactly.
You already have to have it. See?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have it. Salute to New York Perspective Talk Show. Gratitude. You see what I'm saying? You already have to have it. See? We have limitations today in Euro-Western thinking or in Euro-Western science. We have limitations in the science today because of the limitations placed on our thinking. The limitations placed on our philosophy. The limitations placed on how we see religion. Hence, we have limitations on what we can actually apply and do. See that? Our way of thinking was put to sleep, brother. Think about that. It's so crazy that you wake up from your amnesia and you see things like Ifa and don't recognize it as your own stuff. Don't even recognize it. Meanwhile, the European is writing papers talking about, that's the origin of Western quantum computing. But you Negroes didn't do it. These Arabs, we got it from these Arabs.
Everything north of the what?
North of the Sahara, they try to say ain't you.
And look how many, and just to think about it, how many jewels that we just give away with that thinking.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? That's called giving up your birthright just to gratify your lowest self. Know what else that's called? Those who were cast out of the holy city and those who accepted their teachings.
Actual. Yep.
We're falling and suffering because we accepted those teachings.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. We accepted them. See?
Start thinking like them.
Right.
Then
our literature carries with it, that's why it's small. It doesn't have to be big. It carries with it a psychology. It carries our forefathers' thinking. That's why we constantly, people say, man, that's all y'all do. Y'all just repeat your Moorish Quran and just repeat your question. Absolutely. That's right. Because we're reprogramming. That's right.
And
That's right.
question and answer. That's an ancient Asiatic custom and
Brother,
tradition.
call and response is a masterful way to teach because the word education really means to draw out of someone. That's what it means.
Fact. That's a
It
fact.
doesn't mean indoctrinate them with something. It means draw. And how do you draw things out of people? You ask a question.
Questions.
That's how you draw it out. Shout out to the Grand Governor in our organization, the Grand Governor of the state of Maryland, brother L. Stewart Bay. He said it this way. Whew. He said, why do you think we go over the questionnaire every Sunday? We ask the same questions, 101 questions every Sunday. This is what he said. He said, because we're seeing who remembers. Backwards through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves and thus
they know.
Right. Right.
Yo, that was a heavy draw right there, brother.
See?
Honestly, gratitude for that draw right there, brother.
Right? We're seeing who remembers. We are agitating the old ancient circuits. That's
like giving it a jump start.
Brother, I forgot his name. There's a particular Christian monk during the medieval era. What he used to do, he used to make his students read about the crucifixion. I believe in the book of Matthew, over and over and over and over and over until they became obsessed with it. They used to read it so much that they would fall asleep and dream about it. But this is what started to happen, brother. Many of them started to recall. Notice I said the word recall. Started to recall events of the crucifixion that were not in the reading. And then others in the class saw some of the same things independently. Guess what that's called today in the modern world?
What's that?
Remote viewing.
Where's my bombs?
That's what that's called today. Now you see why we apply the hammer to our literature every Friday, every Sunday. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, that's exactly why we do it over and over and over again. That wasn't a metaphor when Jesus told Barata Rabo that. Let us forget the flesh and go with mind into the land of fleshless things. Mind never does forget. That was literal.
Especially if you pound it in.
Come on, brother. That was literal.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir. Because we understand that because we call that in the craft that we in, you know, in the combat sports, we call that muscleman.
You already know, brother. That's right.
You know.
That's right. That's right. Ain't that something?
You got to untrain a mistake.
You got to untrain them. That's right. That's right. That is a fact. That is a fact. And look at the timing. The prophet came right on time, right? And he came at a time and built what he built for this time period.
Yes, sir.
Not for the 20s. He built it for this time period. He said he built it on the backs of snakes and scorpions. He said the year 2000, the Moors are coming to their own. He said he made this for the children and the generations yet unborn. He made a bunch of prophecies about this time that we're living in now.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. See? But look at the time. That being said, the narrative, the paradigm, the way we think in America is on its way out.
It most definitely is.
On its way out.
It most definitely is.
That's right.
You know what? Which could segue perfectly
Yes.
into this conversation that, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had the situations kind of confused
Yes, sir.
as the information because, you know, doing my podcast, I'm not really, you know, into news, those type of things. So
Right.
I got the information kind of wrong
Mm-hmm.
from another source, but
Right.
with your help, we got it right.
Praise the
So we talking about the brother, and I don't even want to. This is such a tragic situation
Yes.
because without further ado, let me do this. Let me see. Oh, man. Okay, here. Man, look at. I'm gonna go to this site, man. For the reason is I just want to. I want us to see exactly how this comes off, bro.
Yes.
Man, oh man, can you see that?
Here it is. Oh boy, oh boy. Mm-hmm. Extremist sovereign citizen ID'd after deadly Polk County shootout with deputies. Chiron Caples, 26, identified as, could you go back up? As a
Yes.
Moor by the name of Kmac El Bey. Wow. Wow.
Let's go. Let's keep going.
Wow.
Chef Grady Judd on Monday identified the man responsible for a weekend shooting in which a sovereign citizen shot two deputies and then was killed when backup deputies returned fire. Kyron Capels on 26 was shot and killed on Saturday morning, according to Judd. The sheriff said Capels also went by Kmac El Bey, a name he gave himself as a part of Moorish sovereign citizen identity.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff's office said a deputy was checking out Hunt Fountain Park shortly after midnight on Saturday morning due to burglary concerns in the area. The deputy found a vehicle at the park, even though the park had closed over 2 hours earlier. When the deputy approached the vehicle, the driver, Capels, barely rolled down the window, rolled the window down, and refused to cooperate or answer any of the deputy's questions just explained. Oh man.
Yep.
Um, the deputy noticed he was dressed in white, as if he were in some kind of religious or cult garb. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Now we that they playing,
Right.
you know.
Right. Right.
Now those choice of words, you know, yeah, we already see what they doing right here.
Exactly.
He certainly wasn't in normal street clothes. What's normal street clothes?
You understand what took place right there, right?
Right.
They admitted to profiling him. Not to say what he did was right or that he was justified, because he was neither. He was neither, and I need to say that and put emphasis on that. He was neither. He was not justified in what he did, nor was he right. Period. But go ahead, continue.
As a result, the deputy called the backup, and two other deputies, Lieutenant Chad Anderson and Deputy Craig Smith, arrived at the scene. Let's go down. When they tried to get Caples out of the vehicle, deputies said the man pulled a gun and shot both Anderson and Smith. Deputies returned fire and struck Caples 8 times, killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Judge says Caples identified as a sovereign citizen, a member of a group who believes the current government is illegitimate and has no authority over them.
Okay, can we
yes.
pause there for a second?
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to read something from Prophet Drali. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me read. I want to read something. Where is it at? Hold on. Here we go. Moorish leaders' historical message to America. The name Moorish Science Temple of Science changed to Moorish Science Temple of America May 1928 in accordance with the legal requirements of the Secretary of the State of Illinois.
Stop. Legal requirements.
Right. Then hold on. The object of our organization is to help in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity and teach those things necessary to make our members better citizens. What it says. See? That is what it says.
So let's the thing is, this and you said something earlier. You said he wasn't right, nor was he justified.
Nope.
So could you please define that? Because I'm pretty sure that we have some people who are looking, will look, will hear, and feel as though, is the brother saying that the police were right for killing them and doing what they did to them? Could you please, reiterate what you mean by, neither was he right nor he justified?
Well, let's just say this. First, I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know the brother. I didn't know him.
Right.
One thing we can say is he was committed.
Most definitely.
He was committed, which saddens me, and I'm going to tell you why it saddens me. It saddens me because, first and foremost, he was taught wrong. That's the fact. He was taught wrong. Secondly, he firmly and fully believed in what he was taught.
I mean,
how do I know that?
His actions proved
it.
His actions proved it.
Yeah. He firmly believed what he was taught. He was taught wrong. Just like our sister, the late Corinne Gaines in Baltimore, Maryland, was taught wrong. But she firmly believed it and got killed as a result. And the people that taught her and supported her, what did they do? Are they helping to take care of her son? No. What did they do? They got online and started talking about all the things they said she did wrong. Well, she ain't do it right. What you mean she ain't do it right? See? What you mean she ain't do it, man?
Brother.
See, a lot of the people teaching it wrong don't have the guts to act on what they're teaching. See?
Right.
They don't got the guts to act on what they're teaching, but they're touching the minds of people that do. They're touching the minds of sincere people that really want to know.
Right. Those who would believe.
and they're poisoning their minds.
Those who would believe.
Yes, to drag out the true foundation and cause confusion in the minds of those who would believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what's happening. See? That's exactly what's happening. In short, what they're doing is somebody put a football jersey on them and send them to a basketball game. Our movement is not dedicated towards banging out against the man. It's not what it's dedicated to. It's not. Some people may wish to do that. That's fine. Just don't attribute that to the Prophet Drew Ali of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Great point.
And our prophet said it this way: we are for love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice must take its course. Meaning, if you understand what that means even a little bit, you don't want to be in the way of that. You want to get out of the way.
It hits without your volition.
Come on, bro. It hits all by itself. See?
Yeah.
You want to get out of the way.
You don't have to administer anything, sir.
Nah.
All right. Thanks for the super chat. I see another one. Creator of the bundles, the boundless universe, creator of the boundless universe. Can you qualify citizen? Is there a distinction between an American citizen versus U.S. citizen?
Okay. Let me first qualify my answer with this with a few statements. I came into what I believe to be the Moorish movement in the summer of 1991. I came in by way of the late J. Johnson Bey, who was a student of CM Bey. That's how I came in, right? We learned CM Bey's material in literature. But now watch this. CM Bey wrote his literature, Clock of Destiny 1 and 2, for guess who specifically? Initiated Freemasons and Eastern Stars. At the time, we were neither.
Wait a minute. Let me see something. Let me see it. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let's see here. Can you see me? You talking about that right there?
Yeah, brother. That literature was Clock of Destiny, the Clock of Destiny order, and the Clock of Destiny order of the Great Seal, the organization that CM Bey put together.
That's what he's talking about.
Bro, it was specifically for Asiatic Freemasons and Eastern Stars. That's who it was for. So what does that tell you right off top? If we were studying that literature and didn't know Freemasonry, we were not going to fully understand his perspective. And we didn't. So guess what we did with our misunderstanding? We looked for things that matched our misunderstanding. And what did we find? The European sovereign citizen movement. That's what we found. And we found things that matched what we believed to be Moorish science. See, I was there with people at not the beginnings, but when it started to really take hold, when the sovereign citizen demonstration started to take on a Moorish complexion. I was there. I was a part of it. Guess what was a part of the sovereign citizen demonstration that became, in the minds of some people, mainstreamed into Moorish thought? That there's a difference between American citizen and U.S. citizen. Right. Now, what happens? What happens when you think it's a left turn, but it's really a right turn?
Disorientation.
At the very least, you're going the wrong way. You're not going to get arrived at the destination. At the very worst, you're off a cliff and you die. How about that? Or you head on into the wrong way in traffic in an accident. See?
Right.
Now, of course, respectfully, there's a lot of people that would disagree with me and say, no, there is a difference. Okay. Show me one time it was ever successfully addressed in court. See? Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say that is the case. Let's just say there is a difference between American citizen and U.S. citizen, right? Let's say there is. First, you got to show it in black and white. Secondly, if that's the case, you don't address it in court. That's useless. You address it with the lawmakers in City Hall, like the prophet said. See? Prophet said in City Hall. He said, ask those who know law, where? In City Hall. You address it with lawmakers. You don't address it with enforcers. Yeah, what good does that do?
Many of them don't know the law themselves.
All they know is enforcement.
That's it.
They don't change anything.
Right. They don't have any interest in that.
Right. And, people misinterpret that whole thing, or what they do is they misappropriate the prophet's words about enforcing the Constitution. The prophet said enforce the Constitution. No, he didn't. What he said in a few places, he said, those of you true American citizens who are for the enforcement of the Constitution, you got to look at the context. He said, help me in my great missionary work. In other words, what he said was, using that word enforced, if Japanese, Turks, English, Irish, Germans, etc., are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion, then this should be enforced upon all American citizens alike. In other words, it should be enforced on us too. Context is king, people.
But guess what happens when it's enforced on you?
But see, that's why the prophet said on another case, he said in another place, he says, I'm going to make the European enforcement. Yeah. Y'all ain't ready for that. See? And back on what I was saying about enforcing the Constitution. Hold on. How are you going to enforce the Constitution in a courtroom? That's not the way the Constitution's enforced, people. Yes, the people are the power. But how in the American system, in a Republican form of government? First of all, you got people saying, oh, this is a republic, not a democracy. Okay, fine. Describe both. Define both. Guess what a republic is? It's representative government. The people rule by way of their elected representatives. The sovereign power is the power to vote. See? That's the sovereign power, people. The power of the constituency. The power to vote. That's it.
Let's continue, brother.
Back on this situation. Again, this is classic example of people that have the wrong idea about the Moorish movement and then they act on it. This is a classic example of you made a left turn instead of a right turn and you ended up off a cliff. So the fault is in part his, yes. But it's also the fault of those who taught him. They told him to go left when he should have went right.
And though we on the manifest we may see the brother's actions in the air, I still pray that Allah guides this brother as he handles life sums elsewhere.
That's a fact.
May his soul sail on smoother seas.
That's a fact, brother.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a fact. I mean, we're all students of Prophet Drew Ali, so we know that this is just what one event in the great in the great human drama.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? The Quran of Mecca says those that they only seem or appear to be dead.
Yes, sir. Just as Jesus appeared, just like it appeared that Jesus died on the cross.
Come on, our teaching tells us what? While Allah lives, man cannot die.
Yes, sir.
See? Why does he only appear to be dead? Because we take the separation of the soul from the flesh as death.
Disintegration.
Right. Disintegration is death.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, both
but is in tune with the previous topic about certain things that are considered haram today that are actually developed by Islam in the medieval era.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Exactly.
See?
Exactly.
Alchemy is yet another science that fits well within Islamic thought. That's considered haram by the Islamic reformists. See?
It seems like though some of those individuals of the Islamic reformist demonstration will probably most likely support something like what we're reading about.
Yes. 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 Real quick, before we get back on the subject of this brother right here, back on what we were saying before about certain sciences that are considered magic or considered haram, considered witchcraft or whatever, but they were actually further developed and advanced by Muslims in the medieval era, right? There's a brother by the name of Abdallah ibn Mahfuz. Right? And he wrote a treatise on astrology. Right? But it's attributed to a man named Ali bin Umar because it was translated from him, from the Arabic, into Italian and German. Yep. Yes, it was. And another group, and then I'll leave the subject. Right? You all have heard of Al-Hashashim, the assassin.
Yes, sir.
They were Muslims.
Yes, sir.
That practiced alchemy, that practiced geomancy, and that practiced astrology.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to my brother and comrade in Ali's man, brother Kmac El Bey. He pointed out that our brothers to this day, in West Africa, the Marabouts, right?
Say that again.
The Marabouts, they're Muslims.
Yes, sir.
The Marabouts are Muslims. Many of them make a living crafting talismans. Still. See? Still.
Reminds me of some of my brothers. You know, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and again, we're used in the West, again, we've been taught how to think wrong. Our thoughts are wrong. We're always thinking separate and categorize, either or. We're thinking either or instead of looking for the common thread that connects everything.
Right, exactly.
To seek the common thread that connects other things is Islamic thinking.
Yes, sir.
The separate and categorize is to, in another school of thought, we call that what? Grafting.
Grafting from the original.
How about that? So we tend to think either or. Either you're a Muslim or you practice Ifa. Nah, how about both?
Right. And then, yeah.
Instead of either or, how about both and?
Both and.
See?
Yeah. Mm.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
See?
And it reminds me, and I'm a part of the Sufi order. I'm a part of
Yes.
the Muradillo order, founded by Sheikh Bamba.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do Bamba.
Yes, sir. Bake Serene Tuba. Bake Mamseta Fall. Um, and those traditions that you speak of, from talisman making,
Yes.
divination, etc., exists within our order as well. So,
Absolutely, brother.
man, like, yes, sir. Yeah. So these things that are considered, that are very much part of our orders, that are functional parts of our order, will be considered haram to what would be called in these days and times,
Yes.
the Orthodox Islamic world.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? But what's really Orthodox is the question.
What is Orthodox? See?
That's the question.
Right. This is one man, and then I gotta cut it loose. I gotta get moving. But there's this another individual. His name was Nasir al-Din al-Tusi.
Mm-hmm.
He lived from 1201 to 1274.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. He was a philosopher and an astronomer and a physician. Right? He also practiced geomancy. But in his day, right?
Yes.
He also studied geomancy.
With no formal education.
And guess what he was considered in the 13th century?
What's that?
One of the greatest mathematicians and scientists of his day.
Wow, with no formal education. That is wow.
But he, once again, I mean, we can do this all day long. He was a Muslim.
Yes, sir.
See, we could do this all day long.
Yes,
but
sir.
Once you know about the reformist movement and some of the changes that they made, and then back those changes with billions of petrodollars, right?
Yes, sir. You could push the whole world.
There you go, brother.
Yes, sir.
See, there you go.
Yes, sir.
That's another reason why the prophet spoke so eloquently and so strongly about economic security.
All right.
He said it's free national standards and power that make a man and a nation. So we need to have our standards, the stuff we're not going to budge on, the principles that we live by. And then you need voting power and finance backing it.
Right.
It's simple. It's simple.
Wow. Brother, before we go.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you what's saddening
about
that? This whole situation with this brother.
Yes.
Right here. Capels was homeless at the time of the shooting.
Oh, man.
And the man didn't have a criminal record before the shooting.
That's a waste. It's so sad.
Man,
it's so sad. But hold on. Look at the wording you also use further up.
Said he's identified as a Moor. He identifies as Moorish. He uses a number 13 Lion-Hearted on his Florida driver's license. Beside his signature, he has written "All rights reserved."
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Said he was radicalized when he was in college in California. See that brother, that is a dog whistle word, radicalization.
Right. We have one more. We have another super chat, brother.
Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead.
It says, this is from Creator
Of the balanced universe?
Yes, yes. Would it be safe to say that Ifa can be related to Zikr ceremony and Sufism?
Absolutely. Related as it's a technology. See, and I love using that word because that's what it is. It's a technology within the faith. Ifa is a tech. It's a technology within the faith. Zikr is a technology. Remembrance is a technology. And tech is what? Application of a science.
Yes, sir.
So absolutely Zikr is. Yes. Not just Sufism, Islam. And I got to say it this way. Quran of Mecca said there was no argument until after truth came. An argument mathematically means what, people? Opposing sides. Get it? Duality.
Right.
All right. What was Prophet Muhammad? Was he Sunni? Was he Shia? Was he Sufi? Was he Hanbali? Was he?
He was a Muslim.
Thank you, brother. He was none of those things. He was a Muslim. See?
All of those things came afterwards.
Came after. See that?
Though not saying that those things are not and do not have beneficial tools and measures.
But guess what? They became the focus instead of the means.
Right.
Prophet Muhammad gave his followers the Sunnah, not so they would call themselves Sunni.
Great point.
That?
Great point.
He gave him a tool. Why are you going to call yourself the tool?
Right.
All right.
Right. Right. And just to say before we leave, about Zikr. The Zikrs are alive.
Brother, they are. But see, you told a lot right there. You told a lot. See, you told a lot. Okay, hold on. I have to give a caveat to the viewers from what you just said. I have to do it. Only people that have experienced it can say that. Don't play yourself running around saying that you ain't experienced it. All right. God put that out there. God put that out there.
Yeah, man. And that's only that's what I'm. And you know what? That's a great way to end that. Listen, and just to segue into that.
Yes.
For those who practice Zikr, and you're interested, I have Zikr bees.
Praise Allah. That's right.
From Senegal.
Yes, sir. I gotta get some from you, brother.
Yes, sir. Made from the brothers of my order in Senegal. And if you have a request you would like, and brother, you're good.
Yes, sir. Mashallah.
If you would like to purchase, contact me.
Praise Allah.
Contact me. I'm Sheikh7 Islam L on Facebook. I'm Sheikh7 on Instagram. And you can just, you can always hit me in here in this comment section. Yes. Or on the comment section of any video that I have, and I'll surely get to you. I like it. Honest and gratitude, brother Sharif Anael-Bey. As
always. Listen, Mo, you already know what time it is with you. I'm always at your disposal, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. And we got another show about to come. And it came off a diagram I sent the brother, and he was like, "Oh yeah, let's make this a show."
Yeah, oh,
so
oh yeah.
And when I get it like that,
oh yeah,
I know how it's gonna be, and it's always the same thing with Brother Sharif. Brother Sharif comes with scholarship. He comes with information. He comes with the facts. He comes with history. And I appreciate that. And that's not knocking any other brother who does the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing I want to say before you go, brother, is I want the world to hear this, is that we truly need the, the prophet tells us we need to love instead of hate.
Correct.
I think a lot of us need to learn what love is first.
That's real. That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, I want to say this.
Yes, sir.
I'm not against anybody. I'm only against my Lord self.
There you go, brother. That's right.
I'm not against anybody.
It's the only foe.
I have no problems with anybody.
Right.
No, so that's just me being me.
That's right.
I'm not going to put on for a camera. I'm not going to, put on an act or shuck and jive for a camera.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I have no problem with nobody, and I have no anna with nobody. So,
right.
Brother Sheik 7 is a brother who's striving to bring information, provide a great, healthy platform, you know what I'm saying, for the people. And I would like for everybody who's in the chat, if you haven't already, please hit the like button.
Yes, sir.
Please hit the like button for us and put us in the algorithm.
Yep.
Because so we can get this information out.
That's right.
To the people, those who would believe, those who would be attracted, those who would be experience a life-changing experience from hearing things like this. Correct. We do have, you can also join our channel and become a member of our channel.
That's right.
We have perks, you know what I'm saying? We do have things coming in the future, which I spoke about on the last channel, on the last show. We do plan to have, be donating. I have a brother who's a travel agent, and he's willing to sponsor and start donating trips.
Ooh,
once a month for the members.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? We'll pull a raffle, we'll do something, we'll figure it out how we can get it to y'all and do it fairly and justly.
Right.
And the brother, I want to put the brother's Cash App up again, please.
Oh, praise the Lord. What I'm going to do too for New York Perspective podcast and for Let's Think podcast is I'm going to be putting together a series of presentations that are going to be exclusive only to subscribers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Only to subscribers.
Yes, sir.
So some of our cutting edge research regarding the follow me, because I'm going to say it. This is going to be a first, brother.
Yes, sir.
So remember the show we did where we spoke about chapter 17?
Yes, sir.
And within man?
Yes, sir.
Essence of the resurrection of the dead, and we identified it.
Right.
And we showed its relation to monoatomic gold.
Yes, sir.
So in the near future, I have, and I think I mentioned it on the show. If not, I'm mentioning it right now. And then I have a relationship with an authentic manufacturer of monoatomic gold.
Mm.
And we're working out licensing as we speak.
Whoa. Put me on the list.
We'll be making it, not just making it available for purchase, but we will be doing classes on its use.
Yes, sir. It's not about being in the possession of a thing.
It's knowing of its use.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And that'll include old hidden history. On, like, for instance, the temple dedicated to Hathor on the old Mount Horeb, which is today's Kmac El Bey mountain, right?
Mm.
Okay. That was the old Mount Horeb where the biblical Moses met the Lord of the burning bush.
Mm.
Right? That's where he met the Lord of the burning bush. Right? That's also where the motif of the golden calf came from.
Mm.
When Aaron, after he stayed up on the mountain a little longer than expected, and the Israelites got restless, and Aaron made a golden calf, and they began to worship the golden calf. That temple that was found in 1901 on that mountain was dedicated to the goddess Hathor. What is her symbol, people? You all saw Beyonce rock the Hathor symbol. The sun disk with the cow horn, with the horns of the bull. All right.
Taurus.
The golden calf.
Taurus.
Yes. That temple was a manufacturing plant for white powder gold.
Monoatomic gold.
Actual fact.
And what was it fed to the?
To the pharaohs to deify the kings, brother. And who further initiated Moses? Who was the Lord of the burning bush? In the book of Jasher, that God there was called El Shaddai, Lord of the mountain. Well, that's a title. That's a theurgic title. The book of Jasher and the book of Jubilees identifies who the Lord of the mountain was. It was Lord Jethro himself, Moses's father-in-law. And the late Lawrence Gardner, the historiographer real for the Dragon Court for the Knights Templar, said this. He was, I'm quoting him, he said he was the Midian sheik from the plains of Moab.
The Midian sheik
from the plains
of Moab. Ooh. Ooh.
Right.
Oh man. So look, before you go, yes, I want you to go briefly.
Yes, sir.
Because you touched on it early in the video, because I see some people in the comment, they're looking for a Yoruba, Ifa, and Islam correlation.
Oh, now, all right, that's easy. That's easy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it in real time right here. Right? Ifa and Islam. Watch this. Woo! Look at this. Here's a paper written in 1977. Paper's called Odu Imale, Islam in Ifa Divination in the Case of Predestined Muslims. It's easy.
That's a heck of a title there, sir.
Easy. It's easy. Yeah. This ain't hard. Hold on. Let's look up something else. Middle East Monitor. They did a paper or an article called Deep Knowledge, Ways of Knowing in Sufism and Ifa. Two West African intellectual traditions. Actually, that's a book. That's a book, actually.
You know what? That's interesting that they call Sufism and Ifa both West African traditions.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Hold on. Here's one. Oh, here's the paper. Yeah, the paper's right here. It's called Yoruba Ethnogenesis and the Trajectory of Islam. This ain't hard, people. It's easy.
Easy stuff.
Again, we've been taught to think wrong, so you would never look. That's all. When somebody just whispers in your ear, hey, look this way. You looked at, oh my God, I never saw that over there, because you never looked.
Is there any correlation between that and the seven Elohim?
Of course. Of course. Now, follow me, right? We call, Jesus says he was in India. That's why we have to give this context in chapter 11. He was in India when he said that. He said, the Hebrews call these seven spirits Elohim.
The Hebrews call it.
What do our brothers in West Africa call them? Orisha. Come on, people.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we gotta get beyond the language barrier.
Here's another piece. This is an actual paper. Again, there's a lot of white paper on this, people. A lot. This is a paper Islam and traditions in Africa, friends or foes. Islam is seen by Ifa, an indigenous African religion tradition. It's out there, people. It really is. It's not hard. Again, what did our prophet bring us? He brought us the mindset of our forefathers.
The old time.
And I'll leave, and I got to run, but one last example of that.
Yes.
Let's say I want to be a businessman in China, but I want to go to college to learn, right? Okay. It's not enough for me to just know Chinese. If I want to be a businessman in China, I have to be able to think Chinese. So guess what I would have to study? There are 3 major books. I have to study Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Journey to the West, and All Men Are Brothers, or The Water Margin. These 3 pieces of ancient Chinese literature. Why? Because I have to be able to think like Chinese. Those 3 pieces of literature are considered the corpus of Chinese thinking. It ain't enough to speak the language. I got to know how to think that way.
The Quran, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, and the Questionnaire.
Prophet is reported to have said, in order to change a people, you must first do what? Change their living. See that?
Boy, that's heavy.
Ain't that something?
That's heavy, man. Before you go, I just want to tell the people, thank you again for the brother. Honest and gratitude for coming on. Always, always. And
hold on, one more time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put that.
Love.
True.
Hold on. Oh, there it is. Truth. Peace. Freedom.
Yes, sir.
And justice.
Yes. Man, I got to give me one of these, bro. Yes, sir. I got to have one of those, brother. Yeah, that's fly, bro.
Shout out to my brother Tim Jennings Bay and brother Brian Freeland. He's the one that makes them here in Syracuse, New York. Bless you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please line me up with the brother. I'd like to get one.
I got you.
I'd like to get one. And let me shout out the brothers from NYP Talk Show again.
That's right. New York Perspective.
Appreciate you, my brothers. Y'all really look out for me. Ron, you always look out for me. You always hit me up, giving me game, and giving me encouragement, to continue in the work. We do have some things coming on. I think I'm going to be on NYP on Mondays. So, please hop in on Mondays. I'm going to be dropping through with Brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll do a lot. I'll probably do more talking than I do here on Let's Think Podcast because, I like to get the better knowers in the building. I like to get the elders in the building. I like to get those who, I feel as though are beneficial, not only to my learning, but your learning as well.
Absolutely.
Brother Sharif Anael-Bey's Cash App is on the screen right now. If you find it within yourself to donate to the brother, please do. You know what I'm saying? Please do.
Praise Allah.
I thank you for the super chats. Most definitely. Let me scream y'all out again. Of course, NYP Talk Show for $19.99.
Yep.
The creator of the Boundless Universe at $7 with one super chat, and then came right back with another $7.
Beautiful, thank you, brother. Chat. Yes, sir.
I really appreciate y'all's support.
Yes.
And in future shows, the super chat is wide open. You want your questions answered, as you see, and I, I normally don't do that. I had to stop the brother in almost a mid sentence a couple of times just to get the questions in there. But that's what the super chat is for. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying, to hold our word, our end of the bargain, and we're gonna continue in this comprehensive program of extending the truth and learning and uplifting fallen humanity.
That's
Most
fact.
definitely.
That's a
Most
fact.
definitely. Also, the Cash FLX Thing podcast is posted in the chat. I'm not
Yes,
gonna put it on the screen. It's in the chat if you choose. I know you could and you want to, you'll find it. It's there. And I appreciate everybody and brother Sharif.
yes, sir.
I love you, brother,
True,
as
moment.
always. And
Absolutely.
we need it. You know what? I'm gonna have to get a commercial because I need to put the books and
I
all the
got
things that you're doing
yes, sir.
in something where I can, promote it in the beginning of the shows, etc. Man, because you got a lot going on, brother Sheik. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, off camera, maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna call you and I want to share with you some of our most recent research. I want to share with you some things, brother.
yes, sir.
It ain't yet for the public. It's one of those demonstrations where, as far as the public goes, we used to say something back in another school of thought. What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquake, right?
Yes, sir.
And you know the answer. It's a long, drawn out answer. The sun, right? Earth's covered approximately 3/4 of its surface by water. The sun has the moon have attracting power on the planet as it travels at terrific speed, 1,037 1/3 miles per hour around the sun, right? Right? The sun draws this water up in a fine mist, and naked eye can hardly detect. Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir. Most definitely.
The moral of the answer, the real lesson of the answer is this: the masses pay attention to the water when it's coming down. They're not paying attention to the water when it's going up. The masses pay attention to effect and not cause, right? So
the cause can't be seen by naked eyes.
Come on, brother, there you go. So what I want to demonstrate to you is a cause,
and I would love to
let the masses see the effect. I'll just leave it at
that. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate it, brother. You know that, man. And again, brother, we're gonna keep the brother on. If you got topics you want to hear the brother build about, we'll take them, put them in the comment section, and we'll run it by the brother. And I'm gonna tell you this: he has a powerful PowerPoint presentation game. And I think he showed you on the Quantum Physics More Science show.
Yes, sir.
And I've already requested that he bring us a couple more of those back.
Got you.
Man, again, we honest and gratitude, man. We ain't gonna hold you because we know you got to get to the business.
I got a show idea. I gotta go, but listen, real quick. Here's the show idea. Now, the term comes from the term we know the term from the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Right? Their problem book, 13th problem. After learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, it stands true. You can prove it in no limited time. Now you must learn to use it and secure wealth for yourself while you're living. That is money, good homes, friendships, and all walks of life. Sit yourself in heaven at once. It's the greatest value, brother, and teachers. Okay, cool. How about we do a show on Islam is mathematics from the Moorish American perspective?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That can be the next one.
For sure.
That can be the next one from Brother Sharif.
Let's do it. I'll have a PowerPoint ready.
And he'll have a PowerPoint ready. And he's gonna have the PowerPoint ready. And yo, man, y'all better get ready. I'm gonna be ready. And me, I'm privy to the PowerPoint, so I'll have it in my possession. And hey, man, his PowerPoint game is so proficient.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy it so much, and I enjoy it so I can present it, hit the present button, and put it on the screen. Yes, sir. And
shout out to my brothers and comrades and Ali's men as well. Shout out to those brothers. I couldn't do what I do without that team. Bottom line, I couldn't do it.
Great brothers too. Great brothers.
Yes, sir.
Great brothers.
All right, brother. I gotta go.
All right, peace.
Peace, brother man.
All right, brother man. Islam, peace. Peace to the family. How y'all doing? What's going on, I need? Peace, God. How you be? Circle City Mike. Honors and gratitude, man. It's an honor. It's an honor, brother. It's an honor. Thank you. Raphael the Moore. Islam, oh Islam, Sheikh. How the Muslim. Chase Islam. Islam, brother. Neil Bay. Islam, oh Islam, Sheikh. How the brother. Praise Allah, brother Raphael. Praise Allah, Sheikh. Glad to see that you're well. Glad to see that you're well, brother, man. It's always a blessing to see my brothers well. The prophet said he'd love to see us more happy. Yes, sir. King Rael, peace, brother. Peace, peace. I'm going through the chat. I don't know if everybody's still here. Raheem Taylor, peace to the God, love always. You know, that's my name too. My name is Raheem too. So we share that. That's peace. Great name, brother. Again, creator of boundless universe. I really thank you for the super chat. I really thank you, NYP Talk Show. You already know how we do, brothers. Honest and gratitude. Oh, the Sheikh Bilal in the building. 787. Salam. What do? Yallahu, Sheikh. Who, Sheikh? How the brother? IRR. I see you in the chat, y'all. Peace. I don't know if you're still in the building, but peace. Peace. I apologize for everybody that I missed your comment and didn't acknowledge you throughout the chat. I apologize. Sometimes when the brothers get on and they doing their thing with the information, I'm just as excited as y'all are. I'm just as tuned in as y'all are. I'm on the information, and sometimes I just miss the chat, but I'm gonna get better with that. I promise. I promise. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I don't like to butcher people's name. Elmore Bay, right here. So I don't butcher your name. Honors and gratitude for your support. Honors and gratitude for your support. Islam. The oneness realized. Honors and gratitude for your support. Honors for viewing. Honors and gratitude. Jamil Pro. Peace. Honors and gratitude. As far as the brother I said, the Duke of Tears, I'm very much interested in getting the brother on, but I see the brother's busy. You know what I'm saying? He's always on. He's always doing the work, and I don't want to interfere in his work. But guess what? If you're in touch with him, and you know, which I can get in touch with the brother, and I will, in due time. You know what I'm saying? In due time. Because I do feel like he's very, 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 very much worthy of being on Let's Think podcast, and will be very useful to the listening audience. So, yeah, Islam to the brother Sil, the Duke of Tears. Islam. Awareness daily. Peace, God. Peace, God. You always in the building. You always in the building, man. Peace, God. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Well, as I said, everybody who's still here, please hit the like button. Please hit the comments. Comment, like, places in the algorithm. Cash App is in the comments. If you would like to donate, please donate. So we can continue to further and advance and upgrade the podcast. I'm pretty sure y'all would like to see me do some, upgrade the podcast, better cameras, better lighting, do in-person podcasts. So I know y'all would probably like to see me do those type of things. And I would like to do those things too. I like to do it for you. So if you want to see me do those type of things, hit the Cash App, because all donations are definitely going to be used for Listing Podcast. Super chats, stickers, we got all that. A lot of ways you can support. So whatever ways you choose to support, your support is appreciated, truly appreciated, honest and gratitude. And until the next time, we touch them conversations and dialogue they don't want to touch. So link back in. Peace and love.